about 1 or 2 in the morning. I think I saw a deer. Just saw the eyes. It was kind of creepy, to be honest. Hope it was a deer.
Hello, welcome to Survival Show. I'm just a guy from Southern Ontario and I'm obsessed with the outdoors. I enjoy hiking and camping, but in this video I plan to take it to the next level. I purchased the gear, I've read the books, but it was time to find out if I could put it all into practice. Do I have what it takes to survive an overnight in the wilderness? Today I put everything I've got to the test to find an answer to that question. Will I endure or will I falter? Join me on Survival Show.
Okay, that took longer than expected. It's about 4 o'clock, just past 4, quarter after 4, and I finally found a good spot. It's already raining a little bit, so I'm gonna set up the tarp. The mask somewhere safe.
So first I have to clear some of these lower hanging branches so that the sticks don't poke the tarp and potentially damage it. It's important to clear the ground of all these pokey things as well, so that I can sleep on the tarp as well as under. I attached my ridge line to the first tree using the Canadian jam knot. Then I proceed to struggle to untangle the knotted paracord. I cut the cord to the desired length. Then I finish it off with the taut line hitch, which I can use to adjust the tension of the line. Here, I'm just pulling the cord through the grommet or eyelet and adding a stick to the loop to work as a toggle to hold the tarp to the line. I do the same thing for the other side and the middle. I adjust the taut line hitch to make it nice and taut.
So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it back a little bit, stake the sides, and then this front part of the tarp is gonna be where I put the blanket down. So pull it back as far as I can, and I got some stakes.
So it started getting dark, and I realized that I had spent a significant amount of time putting up the tarp, and I still wasn't happy with it. I decided to change it up a little.
So one thing I'm gonna do, take off the toggles, and I'm gonna pull the tarp over the ridge line a little bit more. So quickly, the sun has already gone down. It is only about 5 o'clock, 5:10. Yeah, just finished adjusting this. I just need to stake down the front of the tarp so that my bed is a little bit flatter. Then I'll set up the bed, and kind of wish I got here earlier so I could collect some firewood, but I'm gonna have to do that in the dark. So let's get to it.
To start the fire, I'm using a very old method known as flint and steel. I grab the flint rock with a piece of char cloth under it and strike the steel, hoping to scrape small pieces of metal that spark into an ember to be caught by the charred cloth. This method requires lots of practice and should not be solely relied on. You should always carry a lighter and matches as a backup in case of emergency. Once I get an ember, I carefully place it into my tinder bundle and gently and steadily blow it into a flame. This part takes a lot of patience and a careful balance of airflow. It helps to keep the bundle moving to allow you to breathe air instead of smoke. It's important to gather more fuel than you think you need. In retrospect, I did not gather enough fuel initially and had to wake up several times in the middle of the night to search for more. I was able to get away with this because it was only 5 degrees, which feels cold when you're outside all night, but relatively safe with a fire going. Any colder and a sufficient wood pile could be vital.
Okay, the fire went out a little bit, so went to grab this some wood. Got this dead standing tree. Chopped it down, and now I'm bucking it up. Tiring.
A lot of the night was just getting up to stoke the fire. Every now and then the fire would get so low that I would have to find more kindling to get it going again.
So, it's about 1 or 2 in the morning.
At this point, I was feeling the exhaustion from setting up camp, from collecting and processing firewood, and not to mention the trek in. Tired is an understatement. To summarize what I was explaining, I tried making a long fire, but failed to make it large enough to be effective. I also did not have the fire too close to the tarp because I did not want it to catch fire. I explained that my current bed setup consists of a 2.2 R value sleeping pad wrapped in a wool blanket, and that's plenty for this weather, with current temps at 5 degrees Celsius or 41 Fahrenheit.
So it is lit, just very, very dim. It's 7 o'clock. Looks like the sun has kind of gone up. It's still fairly dark. Looks like overcast. Looks brighter in the video actually. Got the fire going again. Warming up my feet. Pretty much been getting up every hour to grab some sticks, throw it in, get the fire going. It's a new day.
This is what most of the night looked like. I would stoke the fire, lay down for about 30 minutes, get up and stoke the fire some more. Next time, I will try to get there earlier and collect maybe 3 to 6 times the amount of firewood, and more if it's colder. I didn't realize till watching this that I was moving so slowly. You can really tell that I'm quite tired at this point. Fatigued and sleepy.
Well, the flame got bigger. Stayed lit the rest of the night. Didn't have to relight it. Still got quite a bit left, so. Got a stick. Color on that.
This right here is the Uberleben wood stove. I love this thing. It's a great piece of equipment. The one I have is the titanium version, along with the titanium pestle cookpot. Look at that thing go! Easy as fire? Question mark. All right, finally, some food. This is what I've been waiting for all night. You know, I was a little scared to make some food at night. I was afraid it might attract some animals or unwanted attention. And sometimes fear can overpower even my hunger. Crazy, I know. I was rocking 2 headlamps all night. Be nice to have a combo, I think. This one's nice because it has the straight to red mode, preserves your night vision, but this one's much brighter. Yeah, so definitely able to see further at night whenever I hit them critters. Shine the light on them, see what you are. Axe in hand. It's one of those nights where you really wish the sun would come up already. Hot soup on a cold day. These noodles are good. After the meal, I had packed up, or almost finished packing up, when suddenly I saw some wildlife approach. No, not that guy. Well, yeah, that guy, but also this guy. Wow! This was such a surreal moment for me. This was probably the first buck I can remember seeing, and it was like 10, maybe 20 feet away. Such a surreal moment. Really made the trip just worth all that effort. Just the cherry on top. Let me know in the comments how awesome you think this is. I thought it was pretty awesome. You know, I think he must have been the same visitor from last night. The shiny eyes in the distance.
So this was the campsite. Tore everything down. Tried to leave no trace. Make it look like it wasn't even here. So somehow, I gotta get down there. And yeah, the camera doesn't really show how far that is. How steep. It's very steep. I gotta climb up this hill. While I'm struggling to climb up this hill, I thought I'd reflect on my experience. What did I learn? 1, I carried way too much gear. It was heavy and caused me to sweat a lot when traveling with it on my back. I didn't even use everything that I brought. I will definitely be weeding out any unnecessary items. People with less experience will naturally carry more to compensate for their inexperience. When the sun goes down, it goes down fast. In the autumn or in the winter, the sun goes down early and you can find yourself in the dark very quickly. I had just managed to set up my shelter before it got dark, and that's just putting up a tarp. If you need to build a natural shelter or something a little more complex than a tarp, you'll need to give yourself plenty of time. 3. Don't wait for the sun to fall to gather your supplies. Traveling in the dark or gathering natural materials can be difficult in the dark. Make use of the light and be aware of when the sun is supposed to set. Keep an eye on your time. Guess what's at the top of this hill? More hill. So to answer the question, can I survive a night in the woods? Yes. Yes, I can. So, this is a plane crash. Said to have happened in the 50s or 60s.